Do that. A quick reminder that summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball, golf, soccer, you name it, FanDuel is the place to bet on it. You've already been following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburnt at the beach. If you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if their first $5 bet wins. Open up the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. We lost Dustin here for a second.
He'll be back in a minute.
Quick bathroom break. But while Dustin's not here, and it's a baseball topic, so it's okay without him.
Yeah.
There have been reports since the Class A news came out, even before. And, Steve, you want to take tag? We'll hear Jeff Passan was on ESPN Cleveland Radio this morning and basically said over the last 48 hours, he's heard that Steven Kwan has a legitimate shot to get traded. It's also almost a certainty that Shane Bieber would get traded. Ken Rosenthal also tweeted out this morning, or John Heyman, excuse me, not Ken Rosenthal, that the Dodgers are one of the many teams in on outfielder Steven Kwan. The Dodgers could form a nice package starting with top catching prospect Dalton Rushing, who's blocked by years by MVP candidate Will Smith. So that got me thinking. If
I would like to get Dalton Rushing.
If the Guardians do trade Steven Kwan, what kind of return should Cleveland fans expect? Is it 2 top prospects, 3, 1? What do you think the return would be?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I can't say how many because it depends how good those prospects are.
Right.
But I got to get a hit. Like Dalton Rushing could start today for the Guardians. He's in the majors right now. He just doesn't play a lot because their starting catcher is one of the best catchers in baseball. So there's not a lot. But Dalton Rushing's a top prospect, and he's ready to play in the majors. To me, if you got Dalton Rushing in a deal, he's your starting catcher. That's it. You cut Austin Hedges, or maybe you put Bo Naylor in the trade. I don't know, make it a bigger deal. But you better get a lot for Kwan because all these teams want him. I do think, I said like 5 days ago, I thought there was almost no chance they were going to trade Kwan. But now because of the unraveling and what's happened here with Class A, I think it's more likely. I still don't think it's a short thing. Heyman's been talking about it as if it's nearly a short thing. We know the Guardians, they're not going to trade him unless they feel like they get a great deal, and they better.
I think they're trading him.
You think it's near certainty, huh? You think the Class A thing put it over the top, right?
I don't know. Bieber was gone before Class A. They were already trading
Bieber's
Shane.
gone, yeah.
They were trading Shane.
And he pitched fine yesterday.
And I think a lot of people look at the Class A thing and then hear Bieber and Kwan and think this is all because of that. It's not. Shane was already on the way out.
Right. Well, he's a free agent, essentially, at the end of the year, so...
Yeah. He was going to opt out.
Right.
And again, it goes back to the obsession of always having to create assets for these guys rather than just take a shot.
Right,
and again, that's an ownership thing to me more so
but
than
I
a front office thing.
I do think they're more likely to trade Kwan, not Bieber, but Kwan because of the Class A situation.
Well, the Kwan thing really comes down to trying to maximize the value of the asset. You said they held on to Lindor too long and they didn't get anything for him. Well, with Kwan right now, you can get a bounty for him because there's a lot of teams in on him.
Yeah.
The Phillies, the Padres, the Dodgers, just to name 3.
Yeah.
And there's more than that. There's a lot of teams that want him. Frankly, I think they probably would have traded Class A had this not happened. I think there's probably a decent chance he would have gone. And you had a chance to restock everything. If you trade Kwan, Class A,
that's assuming you get it
and
right.
Shane, I mean, you're getting a ton of prospect value back for that. The problem, I think, I was talking to Zach about this a little bit, if you do move on from Kwan, is it create a Jose issue of Jose standing here going, I'm 32 years old, what are we doing here?
I mean, their lineup's bad enough now.
Yeah, so you are really if it were me, I would just trade Kwan. I'd just trade him now. Maximize the value.
Yeah.
He's got 3 postseasons of control left after this. If you're going to trade him this winter anyway, then just do it now because you're going to get a higher return on him now.
I don't want to hear about trade because Zach and I were talking yesterday, and he was like, one of the guys, because the Padres obviously really want Kwan.
Yep.
And one of the guys they were talking about, their best prospect is like an 18-year-old.
I was just talking to Mike about him. I think he's one of the best prospects in baseball, but
I can't trade for an 18-year-old.
He's 18. He's at least 2 years away.
Not interested.
I like him, but I totally get the idea of you got to wait 2 years for this guy.
No, that's ridiculous. They better get somebody that's ready to play in the majors right now.
Oh, and they will. They would. I mean, the star of the deal could be 2 years away, and they're still going to get 2 or 3 pieces that can help you right now. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be.
It's interesting to see what they get. Like, Kwan is such... there's not really a comp for him in baseball.
I think he's very good. If you can
he's not a superstar.
No,
he's not. Yeah,
he looks better than what he is in this lineup because this lineup is so horrendous.
Right,
he's a 300 hitter with some power and elite defensively.
Yeah,
but he's not playing in the right position.
But it's in left field.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you can turn that, I mean, he's a career 285 hitter.
Yeah. He's hitting 286 this year, so he's literally
now 286 is like hitting
320 15 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. But still,
he's a limit. He's very outside of power. Every other aspect of his game is good to excellent.
Very good.
Yes.
He's very, very good.
Yes.
And I don't want to diminish him.
No, and he's a good guy, good teammate, all that stuff.
He's a great leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
He's a leadoff hitter from the 80s and 90s.
Yes, totally old school.
And if put him where he belongs in center field and put power on each side of him, he can be really good. And, I was talking to Zach about this. I was talking to Mike before the show. I don't know why you can't sit down with him and say, listen, the trade deadline is in 28 hours. Here's the Andres Jimenez contract, 7 years, $105 million. If you want to be here, sign it. If you don't, we're going to trade you tomorrow.
Why not?
It's that simple. And if he doesn't, I don't know why you can't give him. If you're going to, now it's not a perfect alignment.
Yeah.
Because Jimenez had yet to reach arbitration, and Kwan is already into arbitration.
Yeah.
So it's not
maybe a little more
comparison.
Maybe a little more.
But it's at least the framework of something.
I don't think he's going to get that much more in any kind of deal. I mean, again, when you don't hit for power, you don't get paid a ton of money. Yeah. It's that simple.
And he's got some.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's not going to hit 30.
He's not going to hit 20.
He might get 20. He's still early enough in his career. He may.
We'll see. I think that's his limit. Would be 20. That's minimal power. But every other aspect of his game is strong, and so there's value there. I'm just not sure. What the value is. So it'll be interesting to see. But obviously, the Dodgers always have good prospects.
And the Bieber thing, Shane could be the best. I mean, we'll see what happens with Sandy Alcantara in Miami.
Well, Joe Ryan.
Yeah,
but I know they're saying he might.
Who would you rather? And I honestly don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Joe Ryan or Shane Bieber?
Definitely Joe Ryan. First of all, I got him for multiple years.
Well, that's true. You're right. Because I'm looking at Shane.
And he's healthier.
There's more. I mean, Shane could be the better pitcher this year.
Yeah.
I know Ryan's had a great year. I still think Shane has a higher ceiling, but it's less control, and you just don't. It's a wild card.
And Joe Ryan's underrated to me. He's been a really good pitcher for a long time, but he doesn't get the hype of other guys. Yes, at their best, Bieber's better than Joe Ryan. But for Ryan, you get him for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he's healthy. Bieber's just coming back off injury, hasn't pitched in the majors in a long time.
So this may be the thing where
it's a different market. You're going to get more for Ryan because of controllable years.
But I'm curious to see the order that they go. Does Joe Ryan go first?
Well, I don't know that Joe Ryan. Like, if I'm the Twins, I'm not trading Joe Ryan unless I get absolutely blown away. Whereas the Guardians are going to trade Bieber.
There's not a lot of pitching on the market, so Minnesota might get blown away.
I'm telling you, if I'm the Cubs, I'd give them a huge offer for Joe Ryan.
There's not a lot of guys to choose from right now.
No.
So I'm just fascinated to watch who goes first.
Well, Seth Lugo's off the market because he just signed an extension.
Yep.
You got Merrill Kelly. You got Zach Gallen, who's having a terrible year.
If they trade those guys.
Well, I think they will. I mean,
Alcantara.
That's who I said.
Yeah, but he pitched a decent game yesterday, but he's been terrible for the most part. They've got another pitcher, Edward Cabrera, there, who's actually pitched really well, but he's been healthy this year, but he's been very injury prone in his career.
Like on the release, I mean, Minnesota could trade Joe Ryan and Duran.
And their setup guy who's really good, Griffin Jacks.
So,
they got a lot of guys there. But, because the Rockies have no starting pitchers to trade.
Right.
The Pirates are not going to trade Skeens.
I mean, Duran to me is the best reliever now who could go. Now that Clase's off the market, it's probably Duran. So all these teams are going to be waiting on Duran to see who gets him if they trade him and who he goes.
Is there another bad team that's got a good closer?
Not really. Not who. Like I thought the Red Sox might trade Chapman.
David Bednar from Pittsburgh, is that right?
He would take Duran over Bednar.
Yeah, I would.
So I'm just saying,
Rockies don't.
I like watching the order because whoever goes first is going to break the dam, and then other deals are going to follow.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know who that pitcher is.
The deadline's tomorrow. What's it? 6 p.m. this year?
6 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. So interesting. Only 3 games on the schedule tomorrow.
It should be that way.
They should all be during the day. One is during the day, one's at like 7 o'clock, and then there's like a West Coast game.
I know in baseball it's harder. All teams should
Should
be
be
off.
night games.
Yeah.
They
For
should.
the trade deadline
No.
day. Yeah.
The whole league should be off on trade deadline.
Yeah.
It's too distracting.
Right.
To the
Yeah.
players.
Yep.
It's got to be the worst to
in that
to get
situation,
pulled
yeah.
out in the middle of a game.
I've been standing in the locker room at NBA trade deadline day,
Yeah.
like standing next to the guy, like, well, what do you think? You're going to
Wait,
be here
did you
in
hear what
45
happened
minutes?
in the Orioles Blue Jays trade today?
Yeah. Well, I have that guy on my fantasy team. So,
Well, they're playing each other right now.
yesterday, the Orioles and Blue Jays had a doubleheader.
yeah.
After the first game, the Orioles traded one of their good relief pitchers, Sir Anthony Dominguez, to the Blue Jays, and then he pitched for the Blue Jays in the second
I
game.
didn't
of the
realize
doubleheader.
that. I
No
know it was
way.
Now,
during
he
the-
did not pitch in the first game for Baltimore. He was on their roster,
Yeah.
but he didn't pitch in that game.
There's a video of him walking from the
Walking from the
That's
one
happened a
clubhouse to the
couple
other.
times. That's hilarious. when that
Yeah.
happens.
Well,
crazy.
Joel Youngblood, I think it was, played for two teams on the same day and not in the same ballpark.
oh, wow. I don't remember that.
In the
I don't
80s.
think you could do that in any other team sport.
No.
You got to be
No.
a relief pitcher, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Or
well,
I guess
Joel
a start-
Youngblood's
a
case
starting
was a
pitcher.
hitter.
Yeah, but I mean,
as a pitcher,
I guess
yeah.
baseball in general. I mean, but like as a pitcher, you could. Yeah, I mean,
There you go. So he pitched for the Blue Jays against his team
That's
that he
awesome.
started the day with.
That's crazy.
The second game of that doubleheader. So
I would have pitched him too. Nobody. I mean, he's on the team. He knows these guys' strengths and weaknesses.
that's right. So, by the way, I don't know if this means anything, but the Twins had a day game today, and Carlos Correa was not in their lineup. So people are speculating that he could possibly get traded.
He's
Do
not
you
having a very
think-
good year.
No.
The deadline's 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you think when we come in for UCSS tomorrow, we will be previewing the Guardians' moves or reacting to Guardians' moves?
Previewing.
I agree. I could see
Maybe during the
I
show.
could see maybe Bieber. I think if Kwan gets traded, it happens right before the deadline, like in that last hour or two,
I don't know. I think it could be
because
sooner.
they're going to wait for because teams get desperate in that last minute and they're willing to give up more. At the
But
last
again,
second.
what's the hierarchy of outfielders? Who's going to go before Kwan? If Kwan goes, I can't think. Maybe I'm missing one.
Okay,
But
let's
I
go through
can't-
it quickly. The Pirates.
Do you want to pull up Jeff Passan's
Just pull
top
up.
50
Yeah.
prospects?
Okay.
I just don't know. I think Kwan could be the
Rockies,
one
they're
that
not-
everybody's waiting on. So he may go first.
Austin Slater just got traded.
Yeah.
He's a backup outfielder. Got traded to the Yankees.
Okay, this was updated 1 hour ago. These are
Okay.
the top 50 trade deadline candidates. You're looking for just outfielders?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kwan's the highest.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jaron Duran of the Red Sox.
I don't think he's going to get traded.
I don't think he is either.
Keep scrolling. A lot of
There's no other
relief
starting
pitchers.
outfielders.
So it's going to be Duran or
Taylor
Kwan.
Ward and Luis Robert. Ramon Laureano.
No.
Adolis Garcia.
Nah,
No.
forget. So
Duran or Kwan.
Luis Roberts an interesting one, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's in a different category because he's underperformed so much.
Right, but he's been better
He's
lately.
been better the last couple weeks.
He's been better lately.
I think Kwan or Duran set the market. I think they'll be one of the first to go.
I don't understand why the Red
Outfielders.
Sox would trade Duran. I know they got a lot of outfielders.
That's
but
why.
I think
They're
he's
trying
a
to
good
create a
player,
spot
but-
for Roman Anthony.
Yeah, but he's playing anyway.
I know.
That would be interesting. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do. I'm actually, I should have been on our Friday show because I think the trade's going to happen Thursday, and then I'm going to miss the Friday.
It may
after.
happen
You
during the show.
orchestrated Jason to get on during the deadline. You didn't orchestrate yourself.
I didn't
to
orchestrate
figure it
myself
out.
to get in on Friday. Yeah. Yeah.
Bad job out of you.
Just come in.
Yeah, maybe
Come on in, man. Yeah.
Just do
Where do
it.
you think Eugenio Suarez ends up?
They
He
may
could
have,
end up with Francona in Cincinnati. They apparently are being very aggressive. He could end up with the Mariners already traded for Josh Naylor.
Yeah, I don't. And they just called up their first baseman from AAA, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. Or they're in the process of calling him up. I forget the guy's name.
Which is weird. Yes. I
forget his name.
I forgot his name.
I got one more question.
Yankees traded for a third baseman already, so it
they're
won't be
out.
him. Them. I don't think the Cubs' only weakness on offense has been third base, but Matt Shaw, their top rookie's been better lately, and I think they need pitching way more than another bat. So I don't think it's going to be the Cubs, even though I keep seeing them speculated.
Is there a chance Suarez doesn't move because they've overpriced themselves?
No, I doubt it.
I mean, all these other teams have moved on. They're not waiting on him.
Well, the Yankees did. I mean,
Yeah.
who else moved on?
Well, there was one I was the most.
Yeah, I just don't think the Cubs are going to trade for a third baseman, and they've been talked about a lot. I could see the Mariners, and I could see Cincinnati. Could Kansas City make a move like that?
I don't think they're going to buy.
They've been aggressive. They already
Shocker.
they traded for Randall Grichuk and Adam Frazier, and I know they're not big names.
Frazier's not. I mean, Grichuk surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
Frazier's a nothing.
But
Signing
they still-
Lugo. Signing Lugo.
Yeah, signing. Go ahead.